Good afternoon, students. So today we are going to discuss about the numerical problems in stiffness matrix method of analysis. Let me share the screen. So session 3, we are going to discuss about stiffness matrix method of analysis. So this is the table of content. So in the previous class, we had discussed fixed support with the two roller supports. In today's problem, you can see that there is a overhang portion in the CD. In the at support C, there is a roller support, and from support C to D, there is a span of 2 meter. At point D, there is a load of 60 kilonewton. From span A to B, you have a load of 90 kilonewton acting at a distance of 2 meter from span A, from support A. EI value is 2I here, and for span BC it is I, for span CD it is I. Okay, so here you can see that support A is a fixed support, right? So support A is a fixed support, so it will not allow any sort of horizontal translation, vertical translation or rotation. In support B, you have a roller support, it will prevent the vertical translation, axial deformation we are neglecting. So there is a rotation at B and there is a rotation at C. For time being, let us forget about this overhanging portion. So how many degrees of freedom then? The first step is to find out the degree of freedom, right? So what is that? We are going to find there is a rotation at B and rotation at C. So degree of freedom is equal to 2, that is theta B and theta C. Okay, and overhang portion is there, no? Like there is a point load of 60 kilonewton. When it comes to point C, 60 into 2, that is it is acting in the clock final moment. 60 into 2, it is acting in which direction? Clockwise direction of how much? 120 kilonewton meter at support C. That moment, that point load into distance will come as a moment at support C. Okay, so that's what is written here. Overhanging beam portion load is considered as a final moment acting at support C. That we are going to consider at the end. So the how many degrees of freedom or how many kinematic indeterminacy? It is theta B and theta C, right? So what is the next step? You need to assign the coordinates for the degrees of freedom, right? So at support A, it is anyway fixed. At support B, you have a displacement in the form of a rotation. So I am assigning it as coordinate 1. Let me assume that that rotation is happening in the clockwise direction. So I have indicated with the sign clockwise sign and have mentioned it as 1. Similarly, at support C, there is a coordinate 2. I have mentioned it as coordinate 2 at support C. Now, what is that next step I have to do? I have to restrain the structure, restrain the beam. So there is a rotation at B and C, but I am assuming I am restraining it by applying a fixed support at B and C. So it is completely restrained, right? So at B and C, at C you can see that there is a moment of 120 kilonewton meter. Well, from where does that 120 kilonewton meter came? Per meter, that was a moment, a 60 kilonewton load was acting at point D, right? So that into distance we got to know, and it was acting in the clockwise direction, hence it is 120 kilonewton meter, right? So what is that next you have to calculate? You have to calculate the fixed end moment at for span AB, BA, BC and CB. So MFAB, the load is not acting at the center. So what is the formula that you are going to use? Minus WAB square by L square. Minus W value is how much? 90 here. A value is 2 meter and B value is 4 meter and the overall length is 6 meter. So minus WAB square by L square, if you are going to do, how much you are going to get? Minus 80 kilonewton meter. Therefore MFBA is equal to plus WBA square by L square. So W value is 90, B is 4, A value is 2 and overall length is 6 square, so 6 meters. So when you calculate it, what is the answer you're going to get? You're going to get 40 kilonewton meter. Okay, next MFBC is equal to MFCB. MFBC is equal to minus MFCB. Okay, so this is a UDL, so minus WL square by 12. So load is 80, length is 4 meters. So when you calculate that for MFBC, it is minus 6.67 kilonewton. For MFCB it is plus 106.67 kilonewton. So what is P1L? P1L, that is what is the moment developed at support B. At this point at support B we had applied a coordinate 1, and at support C we have applied a coordinate 2, right? So now I'm interested what is the forces developed at the restraint structure at support B. So it is connected to BA and BC. So MFBA plus MFBC. What is MFBA value? It was plus 40. What is MFBC value? It is minus 106.67. So plus 40 minus 106.67. If I do, what is the answer I am going to get? I am going to get minus 66.67 kilonewton meter. Next, where I had applied coordinate 2 at support C at coordinate 2. So MFCB, that's all you have to write, MFCB. Don't consider this external moment of 120 kilonewton meter. I am interested only at the load that is acting on the span, right? So what is that I had got? It is plus 106.67. So P2B is nothing but MFCB, that is equal to 106.67 kilonewton meter. So this external moment that we are going to consider at the final forces P value, right? So now don't consider that. We are interested only due to load acting on the span, not on the joints, right? So next, what is the next step? You have to release that restraint structure at each coordinate, and you have to find out the stiffness matrix. So in the stiffness matrix, unit displacement in coordinate direction 1. Okay, so what is that I am going to do? At support A, anyway it is fixed. Support C, I have made it as restraint fixed. Now at support B it was restraint, but now I am going to release and I am going to apply a unit displacement of 1 at support B. So what is the stiffness matrix value when there is a displacement of 1 at support B? So K11, what is K11 means? K11 means what is the force developed at coordinate 1 due to unit displacement at coordinate 1. What is the force developed at coordinate 1 due to unit displacement at coordinate 1? That is equal to, what is the answer? 2 EI by L. 2 into EI value for span AB is how much? It is 2I. Hence it is, in place of EI I had written 2 EI. So 2 into 2 EI by L is 6 into theta A. Far end for BA is A, right? Near end is B. So 2 theta B plus theta A minus 3 delta by L. 3 delta by L anyway is 0. Theta B I have taken it as 1. Theta A it is fixed support, it is 0. Right. So only theta B is equal to 1. Theta A is equal to 0 and theta C is equal to 0. Right. So 0 plus 2 into 1 minus 0. Next it is also connected to span BC. So 2 into EI value is EI only. 2 EI by L, length is 4 meter. 2 theta B plus theta C minus 3 delta by L. Theta C also it is 0 because it is a fixed support. We have restrained it. There is no horizontal or vertical translation, so delta is 0. Theta B value have taken it as 1. So in place of theta B I had written it as 1. So when you calculate this, what is the answer that you are going to get? It is 7 by 3 EI. Next, K21, what is the force developed at coordinate 2 due to unit displacement at coordinate 1? What is the force developed at coordinate 2 due to unit displacement at coordinate 1? So, coordinate 2 is where? At support C. So, it is connected to span CB, right? So, what is that you are going to write? 2 EI by L into 2 theta C plus theta B minus 3 delta by L. So, theta C anyway it is 0. 2 theta C is equal to 0. Theta B, in place of theta B write 1, and anyway delta is 0 because no translation here. So 0 plus 1 minus 0, what is the answer you are going to get? It is 0.5 EI. Okay, so next, similarly what you are going to do now, you are going to apply a unit displacement at support C and restrain support B and A. Anyway, A is a restraint structure, restraint support itself, it is a fixed support, right? So now what is that is happening? So you are going to apply a moment. You are going to apply a moment. It is in which direction? it is in the clockwise direction, so there is a hogging happening here. So but here when you are going to apply a moment, clockwise moment, here if it is hogging, then here at the span BC it is sagging, right? So here when you apply a moment, it is causing a hogging moment, right? So what is K12? What is the force developed at coordinate 1 due to displacement, due to rotation at 2, due to rotation at 2. So what is the answer? It is 2 EI by L into 2 theta C plus theta B, right? Sorry, K12. B is the near end, C is the far end, because where exactly it is happening? It is happening at C, but we are finding out what is the force developed at coordinate 1 due to displacement at coordinate 2. So 2 EI by L into 2 theta B plus theta C minus 3 delta by L. Theta B anyway it is 0, only theta C is equal to 1. So what happens? It is 2 EI by L into theta C, it is 1. Therefore, it is, what is the answer? 2 EI by L. What is the answer? It is 0.5 EI. Next, K22. What is K22? What is the force developed at coordinate 2 due to displacement at coordinate 2? So that is equal to 2 EI by L into 2 theta C plus theta B minus 3 delta by L. Theta C, it is 1. So 2 into 1, that is 2 2s are 4. So it is 4 EI by L. If I do, what is the answer? You are going to get EI. So next you have to write the stiffness matrix. How do you are going to write the stiffness matrix? K11 in a column wise, K11, K21, K12 and K22. So hence the stiffness matrix. So what is the equation? K into delta is equal to P minus PL. So what is the K matrix? 7 by 3 EI. And what is K21? It was 0.5 EI. What is K12? It was 0.5 EI. What is K22? It is EI. How many unknowns? 2 unknown at rotation at B and rotation at C. So delta 1, delta 2, that is equal to P minus PL. Now, P, do we have any moment at support B in the problem? Any external moment at support B? No, right. But whereas at support C, this 60 into 2 kilonewton, it will come, right, and it will act in the clockwise direction, and the assumed coordinate also is, it is in the clockwise direction. So what we have to write for that? In place of at coordinate 1 0, at coordinate 2 you have a external moment at support C or coordinate 2. The assumed coordinate is also in the clockwise direction and the external moment is also in the clockwise direction, so you have to take plus 120. Then at the restraint structure, what are the forces developed? MFBA plus MFBC, that when we did, we got 66.7, and whereas for MFCB it was 106 minus 106 point, it was I think minus into minus, this was minus 66.7. Since minus sign is there, it has become plus, and here it is plus 106.67. This minus sign is there, so minus 106.67. So when you do the calculation, what is theta B value? You are going to get 28.802 by EI, and theta C is equal to minus 1.07 by EI. So when you calculate the final moments, MAB is equal to MFAB plus 2 EI by L into 2 theta A plus theta B minus 3 delta by L. Anyways, 3 delta by L is equal to 0. Theta A is equal to 0 because it is a fixed support. And in place of theta B, whatever answer you have got, that is theta B value, how much it was? 28.802. When you apply, this is what you are going to get, minus 60.80 kilonewton meter. Similarly, you have to calculate for remaining moments for BA, span BA, BC and CB. When you do for CB, you should get 120 kilonewton meter, because there is a CB is a support, C is a roller support, it has to come 0, but you have an external moment of 120 kilonewton meter there. So that value, if it comes, then whatever we have done is right. Okay, so in the discussion form, you can see a beam here with a hinge roller support, and it is a continuous beam. So what is the degree of freedom here? Hinge, it will allow a rotation, At support B also there is a rotation, at support C also rotation, and at support D also there is a rotation. So degree of freedom is equal to 4, that is theta A, theta B, theta C and theta D. Okay, so you have to identify the degree of freedom, you have to develop a stiffness matrix, that's all. Okay, so try to solve this problem. Then sinking support problem we'll discuss in the next class.